Okay, I thought I was filming, but I wasn't. Hi, Mary Axholm again. This is Lab 5. I am going to show you real quick. I just did it, so I had a rehearsal. The Durham tubes are in each of the vials successfully. All of them I'm showing you these and this. If you can see it, yeah, there it is. And this is number 5. And then we come to this one. So this is the 6th one that only had half a vial full of the red phenyl. That's what it's called, yeah, phenyl red. So I'm trying to get the air bubbles out of the top of that Durham tube. It's been difficult because the balance of trying to get that teeny bit of air out and then get liquid to replace it, because the liquid's so short, it's been shorted. It's been hard. Anyway, I'm going to try. So then my next step is to take from the broths, actually the cultures that we made of the S. epidermidis and the S. cerevisiae, and I'll be taking my pipettes that have already been soaked in alcohol and using one pipette for this and one pipette for that, and putting 4 drops per vial that coordinate with the S. epidermidis, and then 4 drops in the other vials that coordinate with the S. cerevisiae. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and stop the recording so that I can incubate them, and then I'll record after that. Thank you. Hi. Mary Misako Axholm, finishing Lab 5, the biochemical testing for microbial identification, carbohydrate fermentation testing. Okay, so it's been actually more than 12 hours since I incubated. It's been, I would say, 18 hours and 18 and a half hours. So I have the 6 incubated phenol red broths. And you'll see that here. Right here. And again, I just wanted to note that the number 3 S. epidermidis, the mannitol, was only half full, but I think it still produced the results that we were looking for. Okay, so let's go with number 1. This is glucose and the S. cerevisiae. And based on what I see here, this looks like this is the fermenter, which is the acid production only. I don't see any gas bubbles or anything like that. And it's interesting because there's some residue at the bottom, but it's clearly turned yellow. All right, and then moving on to number 2, under the S. cerevisiae, this is the fructose. This as well, as you can see though, there's some pink here. Pink inside the smaller tube. So I'm not sure, I don't see any classification on that other than the gas bubbles being trapped. So I don't see any gas bubbles. It is pink, but I'm going to go ahead and say this is the fermenter as well, with acid production only. So that was number 2 under the S. cerevisiae. And then number 3 is the S. cerevisiae with the mannitol. And that as well is only the fermenter. There's no gas bubbles, and it is clearly turned yellow. All right, so then if we go on to the S. epidermidis, number 1, the glucose, it did not turn yellow. It is still a pinkish red. And that would be, let's see, non-fermenter. There's no gas bubbles, it's not yellow, so it's the non-fermenter. Okay, and number 2 on the S. epidermidis for fructose is the same thing. There's no gas bubbles present, and it's not yellow, so it's the non-fermenter. And then number 3 on the S. epidermidis for mannitol, you can see I got that smaller tube filled, and nothing has changed as far as color, and there's no gas bubbles. So this one as well is non-fermenter. All right, I'm going to take my pictures now, and that completes lab number 5. Thank you.